106.1, and on irlonestar.com. Start your own podcast, create your first YouTube channel, and be on TV. Contact Lone Star Community Radio online at irlonestar.com or call the station message line at 936-647-3776 to take your first step into the radio world.
Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com.
You are listening to the Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZWLP Conroe and 106.1 KZCCLP Conroe and worldwide on irlonestar.com.
Good afternoon, everybody. Oh, boy, you're listening to the Cindy Cochran Show. And have we got guests for you? I mean, guests for days. We have Armando Nino and then Hoffie Ferreira. Oh, okay.
Yeah, buddy.
I got close, didn't I?
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
That's great. And, okay, now, my guess is that Armando is with Go Lake, or with that club,
Golakeconroe, yes.
Golakeconroe.
Yes.
Golakeconroe. Do y'all have a cheer or anything that you...
I don't know, go something.
Oh, if anything, you have to make up a cheer now.
It's pretty cliche at the
Hell
time
yeah,
when
that's
I
awesome
started
that
it.
you said
You know,
Hell yeah.
I think
it's like
that
go
you need,
is something. You know?
Yes, I think that would be perfect. But and then you do events around the lake,
Yes,
right? Of
yes.
Conroe. And Hoffie is one that does. You do events on the other side of the lake. Is that where you were telling me that he works the other side of the lake?
No.
Yeah, don't get in my territory, please.
No, Hoffie, I guess you work at Walden.
Yeah, so Walden's Lakeview Dining, so it's Walden Yacht Club, obviously.
There you go.
But
The whole job thing. Yeah.
Yeah, so they changed it to where it was Walden's Lakeview Dining, the restaurant itself, inside the yacht club. So just when somebody Googles it, it just makes it a lot more convenient, easier. So if you want to find a good spot for good food, cheers. Walden's Lakeview Dining.
That's why of course, he gets a paycheck there, so he says it that way.
Uh-huh.
You see.
And it's...
That was really good.
Yeah.
Where's your camera?
We
This is your camera right here, right?
gave him the cliche, the standard, the corporate America. Yeah.
But when you're not doing that, Hoffie,
Yes,
are you appearing as Dwayne Johnson places?
Yeah, he sells it quite a bit, but on my side of the lake, I do get Dwayne Johnson, but when I go on his side of the lake, I get Batista. So I don't know which one it is.
We do a lot of Batista on the South Shore.
Is it Dwayne Johnson? That's who it is, right? That you look like. I mean, I know you don't.
Say,
You don't mean to.
No,
this
not
is
at all.
just
Not even close.
No, because you're not Samoan, are you? No. Okay. But when you came in the first time I saw you and Armando, I thought, he's got Dwayne Johnson on his radio show? That's amazing. If you could talk him into being on your radio show, that's great.
No, if anything, this guy can talk to anybody into anything, because honestly, when we met as well, I mean, dude was like 5 years ago at the yacht club. He was working with a politician, doing all this good stuff that he does for the community and whatnot. And then little bit, he bait me in. He's an angler. How do you say it? Angler.
An angler.
Angler.
Yeah, by trade, but
By trade, I'm an angler.
But yeah, he got me baited into this, and it's been phenomenal, man. Cheers.
So, but you work together though on the events, and so you come out to the events, and do you set up everything? They come to you and say, we want to put on a charity.
Well, for his events, they were more like just out of complete convenience for the longest time. I mean, I live and reside in Walden now, and we have property in April Sound, and so that side of the lake's always been home, and as well as the playground, and it's just busier now. You know what I mean? And it's just different, but it's never really been about April Sound or about Walden or just about Bellwater or any of those things. It was just what's happening out here to do, you know?
Yeah,
I mean,
they're
and
not
the real of
competitive
it.
in that way.
I imagine they are, and they'll only grow more so, and that's natural. I mean, that's good business, you know, a camaraderie and competition really makes you reach, you know,
It is
makes you
true.
go and try new things and push new projects and whatever's the hottest. And I seem to have a lot of suggestion and to some of those things when it comes to arts and entertainment and you know what we're missing or what we're looking for, and talking in his ear all day long about what he should be doing at Walden, you know, and eventually Jeff Kennedy is playing Unplugged with a Bernhardt
absolutely.
Winery dinner, you know, go figure, you know, all the stuff I love jammed into one enchilada, you know, can you get
That
crawfish
hidden
in
agenda,
there?
yeah.
He's like, crawfish doesn't go with this. I'm like, it would be a lot cooler if it did.
Oh,
You think
see?
we'd add crawfish? And I'm like, oh, that'd be great.
So he basically has Dwayne Johnson as his puppet.
Yes.
No, but you know what? Going back to as well, he legitimately, when I got to Walden as well, 5 years ago, everybody talked about Bentwater, April Sound, Walden, going back and forth and whatnot. You can legitimately see how much he cares about the lake, the community, and just how everybody should work together. I mean, it's just
Sure.
it's going to be a bigger pie for all of us to get the business over here, market the place. It's a gorgeous lake. Why not?
Yeah, and I think that you've got in Willis now. I know you'll probably
yeah,
go Willis.
no,
Oh,
absolutely.
do you know where Willis is?
Absolutely.
Oh, the thriving town of Willis. We're getting an HEB, you know.
Oh, yeah.
It's
It's
opening.
so much going on down there.
It's opening really soon, and now let me tell you, I live down this street. Then I probably shouldn't announce what street, but you
I know
have-
exactly where you live.
Okay, okay.
I've been outside many
That
times.
scares me. The way you said
a little
that. It's
bit.
Don't
like-
be afraid. Sam. Don't be afraid.
so I'm driving down the street and down
It's gonna be fine.
Calvary. Okay, so Calvary, you're
Oh.
driving down Calvary, and there's these two big complexes that have opened up now.
Okay.
One is Chamber Creek, and one is Rock Hill Ranch or something like that. Rock Hill Ranch. One of them that's open, this Chamber Creek, has got so much security outside. Every day they have security blocking anybody trying to get in to look it over. It's not finished yet.
What's
They're-
Chamber Creek?
That's it's a golf course. It's a
Neighborhood.
It's for
Subdivided property?
well, it's supposed to be a resort, you know, and is what they're doing.
Isn't that
So,
nice?
and they've got the lake. They
What lake?
go to the Lake Conroe. Lake Conroe comes into Willis, and it's got-
Calvary
Clearly, he
Road.
does
Oh, you're
not know
Calvary
what
Road
Willis is.
toward-
It looks like, dude. You need a good
see,
refresher on Willis.
They're digging little trenches to Lake Conroe all over the place. Sometimes I don't even know. It was like what some guy
They-
in Buffalo Springs told me he was on Lake Conroe. I was like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Hell, you are." He's like, "No, no, I am." They dug it out that way. I'm like, "Oh, I guess that counts." You know,
well,
But it's a
they
man-made
have a
lake, right?
place.
lakefront property.
Well, it has. They're in like some way because they say lakefront property, and they say we have pickleball. Is it
That's like a
yeah, it's like
version of
tennis.
Yeah.
Pickleball. That was so funny. They got this big picture of pickleball.
Yeah.
What is that? But they talk about the pool and all the stuff they have in there. And it's 55 plus.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So if
Would you meet that requirement?
Not yet. I'm working on it. Golly.
But it's-
if they'll have me.
I can meet it twice. But anyway, I think that you guys would be perfect for them. I think this is going to be, just right
Older
up your
women
alley.
do really like me. I don't know what that's about, but I tend to be a real hit in that genre.
The 55
Really?
and plus?
The 55 plus one.
Yes, and I don't know. It's just for my dancing prowess, my bingo skills.
Oh,
or
dude, yeah, your
I do
dance
enjoy
prowess
dancing, and it's
is-
an old school dance, so that really could be it. But
Yeah, you knocked
don't
it out that Peyton Alley concert. You polishing that down?
oh, yeah,
quite
such a
bit.
good time.
Yeah.
That was
Hello,
fun.
you're on the Cindy Cochran show.
Sorry.
My word, these guys.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Have I gotta separate you
why
or
the
what?
55 plus is so attracted? I don't know. What is that about? It's a lot of
You're
room for
like, son, come
consider
on.
what's
Yes.
going on there.
No, that's perfect. So you wear your hair up a little bit higher. It's good. It's
Aw,
cute. Yeah.
thank you.
That's really
She
good.
noticed. It is different today.
It is. But anyway, so if I want to do a charity, and it's going to be, I want it on the lake, and then I contact you.
see.
What do I have to have already done before I contact you, or you take care of everything?
I guess as far as event promotion, I think that's what you're asking.
Yes.
And what do we bring to the table for that? Well, there's some things that move in, moving parts, time, schedule, theme, and if these are already there, meaning if you call me, hey, next week, it's like, oh, well, there's a whole different agenda there on how to help. Not that we can't, but a week's it's a fire drill. It's not, what can we do? It's like, what can we do now?
Right now,
and it's more reaction. So if my company was presented you with a rate card and said, here, these are the things we do, it would not represent the fire drill.
No.
So it would mean we were so flat-footed we couldn't respond to those kind
That's
of requests.
good. You're very flexible. Then you
yes,
could
absolutely.
do that.
And the industry and the promoters I've met and the people that put on these events, and when they ask for help are like a drowning victim. You know what I mean? It's like, they usually desperately need help. I'm usually not the first recall. You know what I mean? Which if it was, we could present what we'd like to present. Which would be,
right.
A strategy, a style, a theme, how it comes to play, what comes to pass from attendees to, how do we handle 55 plus or handicap or what about this or considerations to veterans or door ticket
Very
pricing.
good.
And it goes on and on of what time can bring to the table.
Well, what is your, the time you'd like someone to come to you? Like 3 weeks before? A month
I would
before?
like 60 days.
60 days, okay.
I think 30 can still be really effective, and I think any marketing's effective. Whatever you put it out there, but it takes a village. And that old cliche is, it had premise. You got to have your every 55 plus member sharing, supporting, asking them, their friends and family,
right?
And the promoter
word of mouth.
themselves.
Word of mouth. There's a reason why that exists.
We all need to find a reason to support the event, and it's much more effective than paying, hey, Hoffie, do this for me. You support the event. Well, Hoffie's only empowered to some effect. Facebook doesn't like his marketing firm more than it likes my 55 plus organization. So we're equally empowered in their eyes.
We're going to go check on the rates on that. I'll tell you now. We're going to go look at the numbers and see who's.
No, we're equally empowered, based on the perception of what our occupation is. Facebook doesn't differentiate or share.
But what responsibilities does Hoffie have? What do you give him to do?
As the vendor, he tells me, he quarterbacks the event. He
so
tells
it's usually,
me what it will be.
And just to jump in as well, because honestly, there's one thing to put the information out there. There's one thing to put it on. So I think that's where we really gel well, because when it comes to marketing and getting the word out there, this is the guy. Number two, they're going to forget. They're going to get lost in my funny accent and all this other nonsense and my grammar.
Or completely love it, but we're not going to ignore those people at all. We need them, and we need the people that he's earned, that he influences in stride, and that he's earned friendships and relationships with. But we also need Gladys in Unit 107's friends too, because she's earned them as well, and she's always been a big part, and then we need that guy. But how do you engage your own community to share, because they'll be more powerful than whatever word I share?
Well, do you have meetings with them before the event?
We just give them content that they can palate, that they want to share, that represents them well, that reflects the community itself. And then they turn around and share it in kind, because it is that kind of representation that they're comfortable with sharing. So if you give them something they can share, they'll do it.
Yeah.
Now, who's in charge of music?
Well, I think talent acquisition comes from everyone involved, but I think
it's usually the theme as well. You can go all day long and say, you talk about talent, but he's been, what was that guy you just talked about in the vehicle? The guy that's completely off the grid. Edmonds?
Oh, Blue Edmondson.
Yeah. The fact that how engaged he is with the community and knowing these artists out here makes a huge difference.
We brought them up because they've been off the radar for so long, and we're like, wow, I haven't heard from Blue Edmondson in so long. So we went digging up bones, and going back, and he wouldn't know them.
There's no ways.
They're a Texas-based band. But they've been absent for over a decade, and
that's where the hyper-localness comes in.
I felt the absence. Like, where's Blue Edmondson? Why aren't they putting a new album out? Where are they? I haven't heard from them. And then when I do my homework and we can't find them, but he doesn't have time to go research a band he's never heard of in regards to where they currently are are today. So
Right.
and then reach out to what remnant is left of communication to try to establish a line so we can bring them into play and maybe rekindle that or bring them back. Or what a great revitaling show that would be for Blue Edmondson, as well as what a highlight premier guest that hasn't been in the Texas circuit for so long. It would be a good show. So in answer to your question is, I guess I do a lot of the groundwork and look for these bands and not just for Walden, but for events and things.
Anybody,
Like we're at the Margaritaville on the 24th.
Yeah,
and we're doing the
24th
Battle of the
September,
Bands. And
but we were just now with Jerry Bernard at Bernard
we
Winery.
just left that winery.
That was phenomenal. I mean,
supported
but
that event.
again, we talk about the amount of words that he spit out in a few seconds is phenomenal. I can't do that. But guess what? Physically, let's go set it up. So at the end of the day, I mean, we talk about that.
Are
whole,
you trying to say?
I'll be doing 55 plus.
No, you got it. You got it.
But I mean, just talking about background as well, because I mean, we worked with the Houston Texans for almost 10 years doing training camp draft day. You're talking about large events, and you have to
Wow.
make sure these individuals go to the right places at the right time. But yes, I can do that all day long, but somebody has to sell it and spit out 1,000 words in a minute.
No, way too many. No.
Dude, I counted.
Yeah,
You're actually losing it a little bit. I think I was at 997.
I was trying to.
But
be
you know
calm
what
for
you
the
did?
show.
You passed right by an event that's going to happen the 24th.
Oh yeah.
Battle of Bands at Margaritaville. It is mostly comprised of youth bands, but I mean, and Christian bands and church bands, and I think it was so crazy. You got ridiculed for trying to get free entertainment out there. I mean, if you only saw the roster, everybody's under 18.
Okay, but think about it this
I mean,
way.
no one's trying to
Really?
get. We're helping these young kids that don't commercially market bands. They're not in that
No, but,
circuit, but one day they will be. One
Yeah.
day they'll bring something to the table.
McCullough, when you did
Dustin McCullough music,
Dustin
yeah.
McCullough, when you did that, what do you
DM
call it?
Music karaoke show.
The
He judged it.
Lake, what do you call it? Lake Conroe's Got Talent.
Golakeconroe's Got Talent.
I mean, that kid's got now what 6, 7. What do you call it?
And we
lessons with,
help these young
Dustin
people,
McCullough.
but he's over 21, which kind of lends into the adult side
But
of
again,
things.
if you didn't put him out there,
Certainly.
then what?
Yeah, he's been at 2 concerts with Dustin McCullough Music in Old Town Spring at Winshee Brothers and a few other
Yeah.
locations with that youth group, and they're all Christian-based music and Christian-based bands and things like that. And so I understand why a commercial band would think, oh, they're just not wanting to buy a band, And I even got ridiculed
You give
for. I
opportunity.
even got ridiculed for. I'll give you all my links and stuff, but then nobody will ever call, and I'm like, well, that isn't that my right? I mean, that may mean I don't like your music, or I
Right.
don't think you fit the agenda or the venue or the genre or. I mean, it's
Well,
a
people
shot in
lose
the dark.
opportunity, like, the
They get so
opportunity
offended.
given, yeah.
Right.
There's a lot of offense to that, and I've seen a lot of bands take that character about that demeanor, but they won't play a Christian song to save my life, and they won't play a cover tune to save your life, and
Don't
they
worry about it.
won't.
I'll save both.
Yeah, so I always think, I get it. I respect your specifics. I respect the band's, grounds and where they put their fences up, and that's all understandable. And with much respect to that, I won't ring the bell again unless it's in your arena.
Yeah.
But when
Do you have a stable? Do you have a stable of musicians? A stable of
a bit,
this?
yes, and we've called on a few, but in our if your talent tasked, a stable's almost contradictory. So I mean, my stable would immediately become that of everyone who's heard them and everyone who's attended every vendor and venue that's had them. It's their stable, So I don't have a personal stable, but it is contradictory to new talent tasks, So
Right.
if your job is to acquire new talent, what are you tilling that over later, or do you plan to use them again? No, I don't. But I'm sure the vendors and venues that have hired them in our behalf or with our suggestion do. So I hope they do.
Yeah.
I do. I
But
really
I think
wish the
that's
best.
I think that's great because that's where a lot of bands and a lot of talent out there should know about you guys, because it's not like, well, I'll have to go through an agency, or I probably, they're going to make me go through an agency, or they're going to ask me who my agency is and all that stuff. But that's not true. You really are looking for new.
We book them. We
Talent.
book them right away. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been booking everyone that's appeared, right? Everyone. I don't think we've missed anyone. And
No,
if I
not
have,
at all.
I apologize. It may be an 01%. But everyone has been at least.
We don't have that
10
many
plus
shows, dude.
Everyone's been on our few shows. Is 10 plus shows booked. So
Yeah.
we've been able to, that I can self attest to.
Yeah.
You know that we know we've got them work. You know, and that was the function as a nonprofit to support the city and its people. And one of the goals was its talent. And I get it. It's not always, everybody's not happy all the time, but that'll never
Right.
be the case.
No.
I don't expect
No,
it to
of
be
course
the case.
not.
We're not working on that premise. When I find that, it's always like, okay, I get it, you know. But youth talent tends to cheat a bit because we don't pay them. No one pays them. You know, if I bring
You don't pay them?
if you bring 15, 12-year-old kids to play the ukulele in a competition, well,
Yeah.
no one's getting a check. You know,
No.
I mean, they're just.
you're not taking
when would
advantage.
they?
No, not at all.
And it's not even my event. I mean, the
Right.
event's been held by their teachers, their mentors, their classmates, and it's their events. You know,
So sometimes the event provides the entertainment, and then you don't have to
Sure.
worry about it.
Yeah.
Do you ever counsel them or go like, "Are you kidding me? This guy is horrible. You don't want this guy."
Certainly, we would do that if
Okay.
we felt if they involved us to an effect, you know, and we would and we had a problem with some part of that, but nobody likes for you to challenge those things, and our
Yeah.
position's not one to do so typically. I mean,
And they know their demographic as well. I
and
mean,
the worse
they know
off
what
the
they like.
agenda, the more
Yeah.
they want to hire
That's
us
true.
because they realize that it needs some work. You know, the more you want to polish this event, you know, we're gonna need help. You know, so I know, go figure. But I always, it's always best said to be at the beginning of a opportunity or an event or
Yeah.
a show or a fundraiser, a gathering, whatever it is that you wanted the world to better know about, you know, and for whatever purpose. I mean, some are asses in the seats, you know, some are vendor profits, some are just
for the date for the homeowners.
they
I mean,
have their own agendas, you know,
I thought you
that
said
are.
assets in the seats.
Well,
Okay. Well, look, that could work.
They just want people there. They
right.
just need the bleachers full. You know, they want the bleachers full, basically. And they'll tell you, they'll be frank, it doesn't really matter how this works out as long as a lot of people here.
That's got to be the biggest fear, though, that you face every time. It's like, is everybody going to come? Are
Oh,
they gonna
shucks.
be-
Talk about the weather this past Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, well, indoor, outdoor have their challenges.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Everything does.
In fact, I couldn't get y'all on the show because you had to be the people to drink most of the drinks because you didn't have as many people show up as you thought. And he said, I think it's really too rough for us to come on the show. But I said, okay, that's fine. I understand. But I think that would be the biggest fear is like, is everybody going to come to this thing? And I had to try and fill 7,000 seats at Rice Stadium. Is that 70?
gosh.
Would it be 70,000? Makes
Probably with college as well, university, it's probably
Rush
70,000.
University?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
probably 70,000.
Okay. And so this church wants to put on this event, and they want to invite every top Christian band there is. And they want all of them to come, and they're going to pay them all this money, and they're paying so much money out front. And we were going to be the production people that were going to put it on. And so I got the staging and all that stuff. And you know what happens when you get all that staging, and then the preacher comes to you and says, we need to bless the ground for this concert. And I said, okay, all right, do you want us to hold off for a minute? He goes, no, I need y'all to move the staging and all that. You should have talked to us first because we needed to bless this ground first before we do any staging or anybody else walks on this place. We didn't even want anyone walking on it. And you've kind of desecrated it by that. But now we're going to have. And I said, I want to tell you something.
Oh, my goodness.
My God's so much bigger than that. He can go right through the staging and that ground can be blessed. Do you understand?
I wanted to say that.
I had
Dude, I was about to say this is nuts. Move the whole stage.
yes, I could. Oh,
Desecrated you.
and
Go back in the historic in the 10 square foot right
Yeah,
here, and I'm
there's
sure it's
no
been desecrated
way.
a lot worse.
and then
When was this?
and then what was the worst part was these are all Christian bands,
Yeah.
top Christian bands, and so somebody else was supposed to be doing the scheduling to have them do sound checks.
Yeah.
No one had done it, and so their people started coming to me, and I'm doing production, but I couldn't find the producer, the woman that was producing this. She had gone and hid in some place because it was so overwhelming, and she didn't think we were going to have the 70,000 people to show up. No. We barely got half, like maybe 30,000, maybe of that show up. And I told her we're going to have to close off this part so that we can push everybody into one part, this part. And so she leaves, and so then people started coming to me, and these bands started coming to me going like, we need a sound check right now. Oh, no. And I said, well, what time are you supposed to go? And nobody's told us anything. We don't know anything. You know how that goes. You love that. So they were all Christian bands. They were fighting for sound check. They'd start getting up before the next person was finished and stuff, and getting in arguments and stuff.
No way.
And I go like, do you all understand how bad this looks? You all Christian groups, and y'all can't get along, and you're yelling at each other. Yeah. And I've already got people coming and filling the stands. This is horrible. And so they're going like, okay, we're gonna.
I was about to say, Mama Bear's gonna come out and take the Bible and just smack at each one and say, "Church, you need to start acting right."
It was, but when you have a huge, some people don't get that. Yeah. They think all you have to do is, put a rental on the property and they'll come. No, and they think we'll tell our friends and they'll tell their friends, and 70,000. I just couldn't believe it. And so this woman said to us, I don't think everybody has been totally praying and being without sin and because we're having trouble getting people here. Yeah. So I think you guys have better get right with God. Just get right with God. And that just about killed me. I was like, oh my word, I am going to lose my religion here in this big concert of religious. It was horrible. And so I understand that fear and that tension and stuff that happens when people start, don't show.
No, absolutely. I mean, it's actually funny you said that because the last training, or what do you call draft day that I did was Jadeveon Clowney. So he was going to be the number one pick, obviously. Who? Jadeveon Clowney. He played.
Say it again, slower.
Jadeveon Clowney.
Jadeveon?
Yeah, Clowney.
That's a strange name.
Yeah,
go ahead.
2014.
So go ahead.
So, anyways, he's a big bugger, dude. He actually played for the Seahawks as well. Okay. He was huge. But anyways, OTC, OTC at the stadium was Offshore Technology Conference. That's a massive conference. Massive. You do not mess with them. I mean, when they come in that 1 year or one time of the year, they take over the whole stadium. So they were basically interfering with when they can break down and where we can start setting up for this draft day thing. Oh. And it was our number one pick. We were going to be the number one pick again. What happened the last number one pick? Mario Williams, what's his name, Vince Young, and Reggie Bush. And that was such a debacle as well that everybody was like, oh, who are we going to pick? So we get the number one pick again. And everybody was like, we better not botch this up. And then obviously besides the pick itself, we need to make sure the event goes off really well.
Who came after that? Carr? Wasn't that Carr?
Carr was 2002. He was the first. Yeah, he was the first pick ever.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was just funny because you talk about how stressful things are, but you can't go in there and slam on somebody's door and say, "Hey, Offshore Technology Conference, can you move along?" You're talking about multi-billion dollars worth of money coming into that stadium.
Right.
Move along a little quicker. Yeah. So we had to cut down the curtains and whatnot. So basically, they took half of the stadium and the actual seating bowl itself, which they've never done before. So they put it on the big screen, but you saw the big semi still pulling stuff out of this big stadium. But then just talking about stressful situations, it's nuts, dude.
That is nuts. Yeah. That's crazy.
Especially OTC. Yeah.
All these events are different, and then outdoor versus indoor, stadium versus venue. And, then you get, sound, and you've got, which bands will present themselves in a Marriott, which, was new to me, the solo, duo, trio, with band, without the band, with sound guy, without sound guy. They've got a menu. And if you deny them any part of their menu, then it's in their court to let you know, well, you didn't bring my sound guy.
Yeah.
So
we just
guess who's at fault?
Yeah.
Guess who's at fault now? So you didn't hire their... All right, this would have been a lot cooler had I brought my drummer. And I'm like, well, I bet it would have.
Yeah, the aftermath, isn't it? Yeah.
There's lots of that. And then, so there's so many moving parts and lots of variables that even make something that should be simple.
Who's the easiest band you think you've worked with? Who's the easiest entertainment?
Oh, dude, I've got one of my name.
You first, then.
AJ Santana.
Oh man, that was gonna be the one I was.
You put me up for.
Super easy guy,
Dude.
but and super talented.
Yeah.
But he's a musician. He does so much more to help you guys at the venue there.
Everybody.
And I just feel like he, and I think that's me. He's
But anyways,
I thought it was gonna be me, and I was like, "Oh, Richard's gonna be killing."
no, but
that,
but AJ Santana as well. I mean, you're talking about just being flexible, being that guy to show up. And honestly, there's a lot of people we've worked with. Peyton Howie, she's phenomenal as well. I mean, how flexible and how popular she is, obviously, as well. And just how we had to move stuff around, especially with the weather specifically.
Right.
We went from an outdoor, concert to an indoor concert, completely different venue, which is
Sure.
20, 30 yards away. But she was super flexible, helped us out, make sure she was just there for us and just supporting us. And
I always feel like I want to be more accommodating. I'm more of a servant in that regard.
Yeah.
To accommodate them, like I get you something to drink.
some folks are like that.
Open the gate, unlock the gate. Let them in, let them out.
Dude, I forgot to bring the keys to
Yeah,
one side of the gate.
there's
Remember
all
that one?
these. Yes.
You brought that up on purpose.
Well, no, I didn't want to get specific, but
You can be specific. It's fine. I made a mistake. I took the keys away to Jeff Canada Summer Bash. And I left. I was like, man, you know what? I'm done. The evening's good.
And you had the keys.
Yeah, and everybody was fine. Everybody was doing well. And guess who gives me a call? Hey, buddy. Where's the keys at?
It's like midnight, at 1 o'clock. They shut down late, and even if the show shut down at 11:30, they're still there at 1 o'clock in the morning, And
Yeah, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to my house. I'm just going to spend some time with my wife and all that good stuff. And guess who calls me? Cheers, buddy.
second to get home, it's time to
Yeah.
go back. And
Was he
Jeff
sweet?
Canada was not mad at all. Yeah,
He was so sweet to you.
No, he was,
was
but I'll
very
give it to
fun.
him as well. Being there, that he was the promotions guy, putting it out there for us as well. Those guys are usually the first ones out the door. Before this, as they start playing their first song, the first one's out the door. Guess who was the last one out the door? This bugger.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
that
hang
means
out
a lot.
stairs.
You're
Yes.
right. That means a lot. And
And that's how
you're
we got
right.
each other's back as well. I mean, that's how we support each
you
other.
make those suggestions that kind of like you're right or die with it. I mean, you get the praise, but you got to be willing to take the hit. I mean, if it was like, oh, this crowd's terrible, well, that's totally my fault. Which nobody says. Or
I
this
took the
crowd
blame
is
on that
great.
key, dude.
Because when it's successful, it's never you, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's always there was something else that made it great, and so it's so rare to get anyone praise from especially if you're removed and your job is tasked with promotion. I mean, I didn't do it. You know what I mean? I didn't
Yes,
do it.
yes.
I didn't do this event. I didn't build or make anything. And so
But-
promotion is such the hidden.
It's like flowers at a wedding.
I'll say
Nobody
one
notices.
thing though. If you're nice and you're very, you're strong, you're nice, but you are sure-footed about what you're doing and all. A lot of times, those people just are so stressed, so under stress, that whoever looks the calmest, they just love you. They just it's like
Whoever
that-
looks the calmest,
It's,
yeah.
it's like the people that fall in love with the kidnappers and the stuff because like they're so
That's
stressed.
awesome.
They just love you, and they're so happy that somebody understands how bad it is
Yeah,
for
right.
them. What?
But a full place is nice, and we recently got some praise with the charcuterie festival out at Bernhardt Winery, and it was really
Dude, that
nice
was
'cause
awesome.
it was sold out, so they sold out the event, and we did bring him on our show, and we kind of talked about it.
Oh, that's
and then
good.
We
That's
promoted
good.
him a bunch and that was like 4 weeks,
Yeah.
and
There you go.
Roughly about-
online ticket sales were higher than normal, and everything else was there, and they maxed out.
Yeah.
they sold out. So
I mean, it's
it
such
was-
a special place. I mean, dude, that was the first time I was out there.
So you can't steal anyone's thunder there and say
No.
marketing did that,
No, but it's also that genuineness that came from Mr. Jetty. I mean, you can feel it and
Yeah.
knowing this is going to be something different. This is something special. You want to be a part of it and be a part of that ownership as well.
He's
This-
always so emotional. Though.
Dude, I mean, I'm a little emotional as well sometimes, right?
I don't know. Maybe it comes in a different package, so it doesn't make me want to cry when you start getting.
Yeah, because he's
emotional.
like 5 foot tall and I'm what, 7 foot? Exactly. So different packages, right?
That's
Thanks a lot.
exactly what I was referring to. But yeah, certainly. But the guy reads poems every night. He's telling.
How do you
us
know
so-
I don't do that?
Well, not. I don't. Maybe you do.
Dude, I got my wife in 12 days. I had to do more than just show up and show a couple muscles, okay?
You read poetry to her?
A little bit, yeah. No.
Oh, okay.
Our first date as well. It's actually funny because
Did you really? You're just saying that. 'cause
oh
you're
my
on the
goodness,
radio.
dude! I even told Mr. Jetty this. So the first date, and when we were officially married, we went to the bar that I worked at, And it was before they opened, and I told them as well, put all the fog machines on. It was The Way You Look Tonight by Steve
Yes,
Tyrell.
yes.
That's a song, not a poem.
Anyways,
Go ahead.
I'll get there.
You can do lyrics. I guess that qualifies.
I had poems before that.
Yes, of course. That's poetry.
But no, so anyway, so the vineyard scene from A Walk in the Clouds, Keanu Reeves and the Spanish lady.
that show.
Dude. And so I put that up there because she loved this movie as well. So that was her first official dance as a couple.
And Walk in the Clouds, a vineyard movie. That's all about the movie, the vineyard, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why it's connecting with Mr. JD, and that's why I was like, man, this is
connect.
Yeah.
And The Way You Look Tonight is your song? Is
Yeah.
your song? Oh, that's so... And you've been married how long?
16 years, April 17th.
16 years. That
Yeah.
is so great.
And we knew each other 12 days, so I was fortunate.
And you knew each other 12
12 days.
12 days.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, you beat me. I knew my husband 30 days. That's good. You just know. You know, like you know.
Yeah.
And it's been 52 years.
Oh, my goodness, congratulations.
Yeah, so it's, you know, you just got to, it's a good guess.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Well, I'm a bad guesser.
He's sitting there awkwardly.
How many times? How many times have you guessed wrong?
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
All right.
You know,
all
Lucky
right.
number 17.
You're lucky number 17.
I'm just
Speaking of 17th, isn't this, and my calendar may be wrong, but isn't this your 17th year as an American?
Oh, dude. Thanks a lot. Cheers. Yeah, September 1st. I totally forgot about that.
17, right?
Yeah, 17 years.
17 years as an American. Oh, my goodness.
And you can
That is
scale it
great.
with the anniversary because he's only 12 days in America and he gets married, and right?
Yeah.
Something like that. So
So
it's like really close to your
So
anniversary.
you're just pointing out that I needed my green card or what?
An anchor?
Oh,
or what?
wow. No, I thought you were already all in. I didn't really know all the minutiae of the marriage. I didn't know it was arranged.
Shoops, I love you a lot. He's talking nonsense.
Well, for 16 years,
I'm
I think he's
catching up.
proved it. I think he's proved
Yeah,
himself.
yeah,
I think
yeah,
that's awesome.
If that's how
Well,
it
I'm
works,
so proud of
that's
you.
how it works.
Yeah.
You know, so whatever. You know,
Dude,
God
honestly, it
bless you.
comes down to one thing as well. The big dude upstairs, he dictates
Yes,
that.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, I love that. That's
Yeah.
very good. I think it's funny. That story ended with a horrible rainfall at Rice Stadium that day.
wow.
Horrible
Held it
rainfall.
too,
Just
yeah.
and one of the guys from a band comes up. Can listen? When is this rain gonna stop? And I went, hang on just a second. I got my cell phone out and I went, okay, God, listen, now they want to know, when is the rain going to stop? Can you
That's
give me
awesome.
anything? And they just turned around. They were so mad. And it was just like, I thought, you know, that's it. I'm not going to ever buy another one of your records again because that was horrible.
Yeah, the
you
fact
guys.
that you ask a silly question like that is funny, but it's a good comeback, though.
Well, it made him go, you're crazy.
Thank you.
You're
Yeah.
just
There's a lot of
crazy."
variables. I mean, there's stuff you can be under control. I mean, you can bring in a controlled environment and then still have things beyond your
Yeah.
control. Like
That's
someone could get
exactly
sick, someone could ill,
right.
someone's wife could have their baby, someone could break a leg, a toe,
Yeah.
Well, I think
Excuse me. Power, rolling blackouts. You know, weather. I think the term, contractual term, is force majeure. Act of God.
yes, that's right. Do you have that in your contracts? Do you have?
Depends. Outdoor events, certainly. Yeah.
That's funny.
Well, so if you're holding outdoor events and you're a vendor or venue or anything like that, it should be part of it. So no one
Yeah.
gets sued if it rains too much. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, we had a lot in it. Well, I guess the Lord did too. I mean,
That's
I mean, it got rid of all that. You know, sorry. I mean, but it can't be on me. You know, it just can't. And why would anybody want to do that? And it just seems ridiculous not to see the obvious. But
Right.
as you said, make it stop raining, ma'am. You know, I mean,
Well-
that doesn't. Who says that? You know, it's like
And I-
you got to get ready for that guy. You know?
Yeah, and I think that it's the stress is the thing. It just kills everybody. They come in there and they're all their stuff, and then they think they're it, and then they see all these other bands that are at the same level they are, and all the record and all that stuff, and then it becomes competitive, and then all of the worldliness comes out in them, and they want to fight about it, and so it's what stress does and all of
Creates
that.
pressure.
Causes your real personality to come out, don't you think?
We were like in our boxer friend was teaching us a few cliches and jargon that he uses, and he's like, well, stress is pressure, and you know,
You fold or you perform?
consistent pressure breaks pipes. I'm like, how do you beat a guy bigger than you? And he goes, well, I keep him under pressure the whole time. Yeah. You don't have to hit him. You don't have to hit him the hardest. You don't have to knock him out right away. Just keep him under pressure for long periods of time, constantly. You don't have to hurt him. Just keep him under pressure, and you'll break him down. He'll stress internally until he breaks, and then he'll pop.
You will believe.
I thought all of a sudden.
I thought you were going to say, because constant pressure creates diamonds. So this is why you
Oh my goodness, she got you. Dude, she got you. That was well played, man.
And I thought, okay, that's not where he's going. Okay, that's fine.
Oh, yeah, it tends to lean to the bad side of things other than diamonds and beautiful things. Pressure
but
doesn't.
I want to know, what do you do to relax when you're, you don't have to sell anybody anything. You're not having to talk to anybody. What do you do to relax?
I love fishing and I love cooking, and two of my favorite things is the culinary arts. I mean, and when I mean cooking, I'm not making, eggs and bacon. I mean,
that sandwich you made me, dude.
I enjoy
Are
cooking.
you hungry?
That's
what he told me.
I think he always asked me like 100 times a day, "Are you hungry?" And that was my the Hoffie phrase. But I do enjoy cooking, and I do enjoy fishing, and I really like to kind of go another level with that sometimes.
But do you entertain a lot of people, or do you like to be by yourself and be quiet?
No, I was a single dad, 2 kids, and the kids have kept me busy, and with 3 kids, but he's an adult. He's 22. He's in the U.S. Marine Corps in Okinawa.
Oh, wow.
We get him back in like 4 months now, 5 months almost. He's coming home back to and in Willis out there on Tanyard, out there off 1097. And that's where his family homes are out there in the Republic Grand Ranch and all that, those developments going off that way. And but that's where that side of the family lives, and the Malloys, the Hatfields, and the McCoys are all out there. And
I understand. I love being able to go to Kroger and just blend with wearing my pajamas and not no hair, not gonna make up anything. Just go in there and just enjoy.
Yeah. She doesn't know the real phrase of that.
But so I guess I want to plug in the. You asked about some upcoming events and things that we're got our hands in now.
What a concept! Okay, go.
And we do have our hand in a few.
There comes the salesman.
Here comes the salesman. And there's a fine line between a silver-tongued devil and a spokesperson. I mean, really, there's a lot of salesmanship that goes into the wrong things, and some that goes into stuff that actually needs that kind of help. So they're always at the task of the vendor or at the item or the goal, so you choose who you partner with. And if you're just the spokesperson and you chose to be the spokesperson for the whatever you could imagine the worst possible shysters in business are, well, then you're their spokesperson. Yeah. So you kind of got to select who you support or who you would. But at some point, I got to create a livelihood. I didn't make this horrible product. But if I go around saying it is, there's a big difference, So we tend to try to lean to the events that are more family or youth orientated,
Good.
And faith orientated, or at least have that air about in the backfield as we can. Yeah. And one of those is the event at Margaritaville, the Battle of the Bands events, the On the Water boat show.
And that's the 24th.
That's the 24th. And it was moved from Bentwater to Margaritaville. And we're the final judges in their music competition that got all this commercial flack, which is not commercial. I mean, great. Please don't come. I mean, just bring the youth bands. I mean, the bands were the ones that had a problem with it because they were saying that it was trying to get some free entertainment. No, we don't really need any entertainment for this event. It is a on the water event.
It's
it is a boat show. Yeah,
right.
You can play in the background if you'd like, or you cannot. But right now, the competition is typically based on youth. Aspire Music out on 105 West, which teaches young kids from the Montgomery area how to play instruments, from the Medley Ranch ukulele girls into the choir to these youth groups, and of course it's just simply not designed to be attractive to adult bands that are in a career.
It's not, they came out of the garages. What are you talking about? They still in the garage.
Yeah,
that's the thing. We're trying to get them out of the garage.
And they felt it, I guess, because it wasn't a fit for them, and it seemed as if it was. But to be offended by the maybe you just need to read instead of just look at the pictures on some of the event bio that tells you the full detail of the event. And every event's not the same. I mean, if you bring a bunch of kids out and all we're doing is jumping in bounce houses and listening to Christian music, it's not the event that, Brett Axelson wants to play at, or the guy with the spandex pants. Motley Crue's not coming, Van Halen won't be here, I mean, it's just not that event. I mean, you should have read the thing. I mean, it's not for you. Figure it out. Take a minute, slow it down, and so like we have another indoor event over at the Walden Yacht Club that it was a collaboration of a lot of work and a lot of people and a lot of influential folks from Jeff Canada Music, Bernhardt Winery, and Jerry Bernhardt's going to be there at the Walden Yacht Club. They're Lakeview Dining. They're doing a dining and unplugged kind of Texas-based event. Texas wines, Texas music.
Yeah, we talk about MTV Unplugged. Let's bring MTV Unplugged to Walden.
Yeah, super casual, but it's Texas-based. So if you told me you were, hey, I'm the best band in Cincinnati and I want to come play at it, well, it's just out of context. We don't not like your music. I mean, you're just not a fit for this event.
Dude, you can tell them Texas is #1 state in the United States.
That's not the point at all. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about what's a fit for the right venue. I mean, and some of them are so weird and creative. I mean, they're out there in left field, which takes some understanding. I mean, some just need music, right? But the ones that you got 60 days or 90 days to prepare.
Oh, yeah. It makes a huge difference.
Themed music would be better. But the problem, like with, say, hey, October's Voodoo Festival, if you wait to the last minute, good luck finding a band. It's going to be Cher or, some just regular band. Not that the actual Voodoo Festival did not host every band I just mentioned.
Yeah. Well, now what? The 24th we know is going to be the band,
Battle of the Bands.
Yeah, Battle of
the
the
Water
Bands.
Adventure Boat Show. That's with Jada England, Bentwater Live.
You got that little.
Yeah, they're cool.
This is not
We're gonna have
commercial
fun there.
hours.
That's going to be fun. And then there is the what's that thing over at Papa's that what's his name's doing?
The True South with Jack Ingram.
Yeah,
that's going to be
Jack Ingram.
September 16th as well.
16th, yeah,
Yep.
and the
Peyton
only reason we
Howe.
want to plug that one is, and Peyton Howe is going to be there, our friend, and True South brings a lot of talent that doesn't usually come here, and I don't know how they do that, but they're doing a great job at it. And but genres that I'm not bringing Paul Wall out to any of these yacht clubs or dining rooms or the right event. I'd love to have Paul Wall. Man, what a great right? But you gotta have a fit for Paul Wall.
2 months. I was like, who's Paul Wall?
I didn't know who he was.
Yeah,
But he's not from here. Yeah. But as a
said-
Texan, I know who he is. I grew up with that. Was like what they were playing when we were in high school. But you got to have the right fit for Paul Wall. I mean, you can't just jam him in any event.
No.
And
venue, dude.
Or venue.
Yeah,
It's just not going to work. I mean, you. So I'm not mad. I don't dislike your music. It's just not a fit for this particular set. Like the 30th. What do you get on the 30th?
Honorable Reverend Sleepy Ray.
Honorable Reverend Sleepy Ray, the
Mr. Raymond McDonald.
Mayor Pro Tem. He's going to be playing at the Walden Yacht Club on September 30th. Is that
From
correct?
7 to 10?
Yeah. So, and these are just, bringing in, some different talent for events that matter. And those, I think that's a Forthright Roofing. And I'm plugging those guys because they merit it. They really helped as a sponsor.
But they're hyper local as well. Again, it's about community and just everybody standing together.
Than telling how good and local these guys are. And I don't know. To me, all the riffs are the same. So I don't really know. I don't know. But I don't know any better.
Until you get a leak into it, right?
Well, yeah, but I don't know any better. I mean, my ignorance is self-acclaimed.
It's
I mean,
bliss.
I'm letting you know. I don't understand it. But I'll tell you, what I do understand is these venues and events that have been coming out to the lake and how much more talent we've been seeing overall. And it takes these type of sponsors and supporters to bring those to the table. And Forthright's been one of those leading groups that really kind of stepped into that a little bit and helped bring some of those folks out. So we really appreciate those.
Yeah,
guys
Teddy
joining
Austin
us.
and Amanda.
Innovative turf design, those guys that do the golf courses and stuff, they're awkward placed in certain things. So even as a vendor who's trying to work with us to support music in our area, placement's important. Where you would put the vendor and the music and the venue, they have to match. You know what I mean? You can't just put, it's like a puzzle,
Yeah.
So you just can't jam everybody in there, even if, say, Save the Dogs Foundation wants to, what is that one group called? Pets Alive? Even if Pets Alive wants to sponsor, say, the Renaissance Festival has to find a themed day or event or way to bring them into that event.
Right.
No part of the equation's not good at what they do. Pets Alive
Right.
saved a lot of animals and supported a lot of pet families in this community and people that love animals, all different breeds, types, from birds to wild animals. But at the same token, you got to have the Renaissance Festival is going to be the largest show in our area. 750,000 people move through the gate down 105 West every year for this event. And 48 years now, this is the 48th year.
Yeah.
And it just has to fit, or it's not welcome. It's not of an interest. Renfest people will get upset if you try to go against the grain.
If you save a goat,
if I bring my roofer to the Renfest, yeah,
there's always a way to find it out. Come on, salesman.
then we cook the goat. Yeah, then everybody shows up. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Or the turkey leg.
Oh, all day long. What do you mean don't say that barbacoa, baby? It's a
It took me forever to figure out what goat meant when they call somebody a goat. And they go like,
That's cheap.
They go like, yeah, I'm a goat. So what? And I'm like, what is that? What is it? I didn't know it meant greatest of all time. And that was like, okay, now I get it because they have it in commercials and everything like that. So now I need to know, what if somebody said, okay, we want you guys to put on the catfish, the catfish festival.
Sensitive subject.
Oh, sorry. See, you should have given me this stuff. Like,
That's all right. We'll talk about it. Go, let's talk about it. It's your show, not mine.
No, I'm just. It was just a hypothetical.
If
like,
they asked
what
me to
if
put on the
somebody-
Cajun Catfish Festival?
Yes.
Well, the first thing I would do is I'd bring on a catfish cook-off competition. The second thing I'd do would bring in a bunch of vendors who sell Cajun-style stuff, doodads, or throw in some beads, some of those Cajun Creole catfish, make it more authentic and based on the Cajun Creole title it has, or we'd rename it. We were talking to some guys over there with Tuts. What's that fellow's name? He owns Tuts down there.
Tuts?
Yeah.
Yes.
What's his name?
Theater Under the Stars?
No, not that Tuts. Like the pub Tuts.
Oh, it like.
Down there by the printing shop, the little bar.
No, I don't know that.
Tuts? What is it?
The pub? You're not talking about the
Conroe
pub.
Pub. Tuts. Oh.
Tuts.
I don't know the guy. He's always dressed in a really good-looking suit.
Yeah, he's always got a really good suit. Looks like a Baptist preacher.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got
So
purple
Mr.
suit.
Baptist preacher said what?
He's got that event, that venue there. It's
He
right
talked about
there.
he was one of the first ones.
Yeah, he says he's the one who started the Catfish Festival in the square downtown. They just rope it off, and he started doing that. And back then, catfish sales was the biggest part of it. I walked the last 5-6 years of my life, and I've seen no catfish.
No catfish at all? Not even swimming?
One time I volunteered, and I was working the event, and the folks at one of the beer booths had a bunch of bins of catfish in the back for the staff. But they were selling beer. You know what I mean? They weren't selling catfish. But I would put a catfish competition, a Cajun food competition. I'd bring every local Cajun vendor that we have in any respect out to the show. And I'd really bring that into play. And
Yes.
I think that's what's missing. We got a great concert, but I don't think that has anything to do with Cajun catfish.
Yeah, but it's
Creole,
quite obvious as well. If you're going to
Zydeco.
call it the Cajun Catfish Festival, you need to have some Cajun.
Something, at least
Catfish
maybe some
one.
Cajun
I mean,
decorations.
it's
Maybe
It
some
just
Cajun
sound-
decor.
I think it just sounds so Conroe Cajun catfish. So it's just all C's, so they don't care. They don't care.
We
whether
do
they
have a lot of
catfish.
catfish. We have a lot of catfish prowess out here on Lake Conroe. I mean,
yeah, he's been noodling. I've
some
seen him
room.
going a couple of noodles there.
There's some room for some catfish, confidence, that we can put on a show of this nature, and we, I mean,
Vernon's Catfish on
there's a
105, dude.
There's a big catfish man that walks around. You
At the
want to
Catfish
eat him.
Festival?
Every time I see catfish, I get hungry.
There's a
I
dude
want
in
to
a
eat them.
suit.
You know,
There's a catfish.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. We
Okay,
got
we're
a suit.
gonna. Who
But
should I
the
call?
city of Montgomery's got a goat. Did you know that? They keep it in the closet.
That's the greatest of all
What was
time.
her name? Countryman. She bought a $7,850 goat costume that she keeps in the closet down there in the city of Montgomery. That's facts.
and it's a goat costume.
The greatest of all time.
Ass check city record. It's fact.
Do we know?
We got a catfish one right here in Conroe.
Dude,
I'll
I'm
tell
gonna-
you right now.
I'm
I know
telling you
damn
now,
good
I'm
and
gonna go
well.
look
I'm not gonna even.
I'm on the entertainment side of things, and I'll tell you, I know what's in their lockers.
I just want to
Well-
go see this catfish, dude.
Yeah, that's right. And
I want to see that goat costume that no one's seen, but we spent $7,800 on that.
Armando, no. Don't go there. Don't go there.
She's
You
really
should
back
have. You
in
should
the-
have
You
tried
put
to.
Goats and
Angler.
catfish.
There you go. She's also an angler. Watch out, man. She's gonna make some diamonds out of this.
gotta
Now,
get you.
quickly put some pressure
Well,
on
it's
you.
going to show up. You watch that
pressure you,
costume, all of a
you.
sudden, oh, there it is. Okay, I saw it for the first time ever just last week.
So when after this show's over and never coming back, after this show is over, no, I
keep
mean like
asking me what would
they'll
help.
fire
I
me.
keep telling them.
After the show is over, then you guys are going to do your show, and so I don't know how y'all can keep that energy up. Are you going to be able to do that for another hour?
Oh,
Keep your
yeah,
energy up?
no, we're good.
Yeah, that's way easier.
That's no
super
problem.
easy,
Dwayne Johnson. That's a story going. So
Yes, ma'am.
you got to get like 1 minute. How do you relax? What is your relax zen? What do you do for relaxation after you get out of the the weight room? What do you do after that?
Honestly, that is my relaxation. Is
That's
going
your
to the-
relaxation.
Going to the gym. Yeah, actually, that's where you can throw a couple of things around, just get it out of your system. But honestly, again,
very
I'm gonna
relaxed
go,
then.
I'm gonna go on the sensitive side. Guess what? My wife, dude, she relaxes me. She brings me back home.
Oh, she is your zen. Oh, that's wonderful.
That's why we've been together that long.
You're going to be married another 16 years.
Yes,
That's all
ma'am.
there is to it. That's
Absolutely.
it.
She's a great person.
Well, I just want to thank you guys so much for being here.
You had a good laugh.
That went by so fast. I can't believe it. It's
Is it
just
over?
like,
Are we done here?
yeah, no, we're winding down. We only have like 2 minutes. How many minutes do we have now? 2 minutes. We have 2 minutes.
Yeah,
left.
buddy, we can do a lot
So-
of 2 minutes.
Oh, they told us to get out of here. You can do a lot more than I can. in 2
No,
minutes.
no, I want you to just sit right there while I promo tomorrow.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, tomorrow, you're going to be so excited because tomorrow is going to be Richard and I. And Richard and I never agree on the same thing. But we're just going to do our own talk show and things that are coming up, and then we're going to talk about them and argue about them, and we'll see who wins. It's the Cindy Cochran Show. Don't forget about it. But listen, thank you guys. Thank you, Hoffie
Yes, ma'am.
and Armando. Oh, you were wonderful. You have to come back. When y'all got things to promote, let me know.
Hell yeah.
And y'all talk to me. Okay, listen, this is to the first responders. We love you so much. We love you, and God loves you more. So y'all have a good day and enjoy. It's beautiful outside. Bye-bye.